morning, everyone, and welcome to American Scousers Morning Coffee RT with American Scouser on a Friday morning where we are more reckless than normal. The Friday crew is back on fresh from Pittsburgh, going around baiting people with his kid. What's happening?
Good morning. Good morning. Listen, that was probably the best bait I've ever set up, and I've tried multiple things, but that's the only one that ever worked, so I'll take it.
And Kazi is with us, sneaking in the last second, Bickler style. What's happening?
Bro, 7 a.m., 7 a.m., you know what I'm saying? It's not like I completely forgot I was about to go to the store or anything. No, definitely not.
You were, weren't you?
Yeah,
like, oh, shit.
It's pre-season, man. Come on, everyone's a
Dude,
bit
7 in the morning. What store are you going to? Like grocery store shopping?
Yeah, because I've got to go to work a bit later, so it's like we go early, we beat the crowd, and then I can go into work, of course. Kind of deal.
There's nobody else at 7 in the morning over there?
Also, it's pre-season, innit? No one performs the best on pre-season, fella. We don't take much out of pre-season, you know what I mean? So...
Do you guys remember COVID when they would open the grocery store at 6 and 7 to the older people, and then like after that it's open to the public?
Dude, speaking of COVID,
I just thought of that.
I just had my COVID shot yesterday.
Okay.
Like another booster, number 84 or whatever. Holy cow, it kicked my ass.
So is this Timuchin? Is it like Timuchin 2.0, 3.0? What updates did you get?
New and improved. New and improved, yes. I mean, dude, and the funny thing is, I've never seen, have you guys ever seen this? This is the most American thing I've ever seen. So I had to get all these. I don't know if you had to do this, Kazi, for like the citizenship and immigration, all that kind of stuff. You have to get your vaccinations in order because America doesn't want your sick people, So I had to get like the COVID shot, so that's up to date. And I guess there's a new one coming in fall, but I can't wait. So there's only this location over here. There's only one clinic that does it. And they said it's a drive-through clinic. And I was like, a drive-through clinic? And I did not expect this. I thought, you go to the back, but then you still come out. No, like you literally go around the clinic. And it's like the hospital. It's not like, like some ghetto clinic or something. You stop at the stop sign, you call them, and then they're like, oh, okay, yes, everything is here, insurance, blah, blah, blah. Just pull up to the stop sign. They'll open one of the bays, she says, and then you can just go in. You go around the corner at the stop sign. It's literally like an oil change. I'm not even making this shit up. There's like 3 bays. I thought they were going to check the filters and shit while I was in there. So they open one of the doors.
Your filters or the car filters?
You pull in and she's like, is the left arm fine? I'm like, I guess that's the one hanging out the window. So let's just do that one. And yeah, I was like, hey, is this like the old ones where you kind of like rocks your world afterwards? She's like, oh no, these are not at the bad. It won't be that sore. Bullshit is what I say. I was freezing last night. Like went through the whole freaking thing, freezing, sweating for 10 hours. It's been a rough morning.
How many boosters are you in?
I don't know, man. This is the 3rd, I think.
He's about 3 more boosters away from playing centre mid for Liverpool.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is the 3rd booster. Like, so the 4th shots, I think. I don't know. I have to go back to my records to give you out there. I could not freaking care less. I'm like just needed for the paperwork kind of ordeal. And today I gotta go get 2 more vaccinations that I did not know I needed. So yeah, it's good times. Good times will be had by all. Okay, speaking of good times, the game. We'll talk a little bit about that. I was in the post-match, but obviously you guys were not, even though Anand said he was going to be, but I'm not saying.
I was in the post-match. Wait, what?
That's right. You were in the post-match
conversation, well. The number 6 conversation.
We spilled our guts. Kazi, I'll leave it to you. That's right. I forgot Anand was there. Made quite the impact to this whole number 6 thing. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, I mean, listen, yes, Liverpool won a football match in pre-season. That's how I look at these kind of things. Yes,
baby.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, this is how I think that's how like the Invincibles got started. Like they just include games from like in like 40 years, everyone's gonna go. They went 200 games undefeated, and they're just gonna get like extenuated. But yeah, I mean, listen, we seen a style of play. There's a lot more ball retention. There was a lot more patience, a lot more, taking the time, but also find that killer pass. The Salah goal is probably how they want to play. Like they'd like to play, like pass you to death and find that killer run, that killer pass, and it creates for those XG merchants like a 95% chance at a goal instead of a 30% chance at a goal kind of thing. I don't take anything out of it, to be honest, fella. I really don't, and I know people do, which is fine. I take that we had a style of play, and that's all I keep saying. As long as we see some kind of style of play, I thought Harvey was excellent, really good. Like could be a superstar. We already know this anyway, and he just keeps getting better and better season on season. Carvalho off the left, I think that just needs must until Gakpo or Diaz come back, and you know what I mean. Maybe they are trying to see that for him, but yeah, mate, I'm not. It's pre-season. I don't take. Listen, I'd love to beat United. Don't get me wrong, and stuff like that. It's nice for that kind of stuff, but let's get it right. The two centre halves are probably not going to be starting first game of the season.
You don't think Kwanzaa is starting, especially after he's been playing?
Maybe. But again, the argument's what you do with Gomez. That's the other argument. Gomez didn't play a minute for England, and is he still going to be a Liverpool player? That's for something that we can get into, a kind of thing. But yeah, I don't take much out of it. But it's just nice to. Anytime the Reds win, it's always nice, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the score, like, I don't care if we win or lose or anything like that. It's preseason. It's nice to win, obviously.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I think the more, we kind of talked about this in post-match too. And as I watch and I'm trying to see, okay, like, you see you see things we're trying to do, and you say, oh, that would be Nunez running to that. Oh, that'll be Diaz running to that and stuff like that. So having looked at this so far, with these guys coming back, do you have any questions in terms of somebody not really fitting into this out of these guys we have not seen before?
No,
Like
because
Diaz,
I think
the Gakpo,
No, we're playing. I think the way Slot is playing now is he's playing to make it fit the guys he has in preseason. I'm sure it'll be different come the the main players like the Diaz's, the Nunez, the Gakpos, but yeah, I don't see it being an issue because his style of play is pretty direct. So I think any person with just basic football knowledge, any decent IQ can fit into that system and play. I just think the biggest thing we're going to see is potentially, because we're more direct, because we're more, retaining the ball and moving right away, but in a slower build-up versus what it used to look like. I think this could benefit the likes of Nunez, but I think it might be weird for Diaz because Diaz likes the fast build-up. He likes the, just go like a headless chicken and just go at all the defenders. So we'll see how it goes. It's exciting.
You can see, though, I want to follow up after that. You can see why the Diaz thing's kind of being touted to leave the club, because I don't think the style might suit, and Gordon might suit a bit more. Do you know what I mean? And that's why.
Really? That's interesting you say that. Why?
I tell you, because I feel like with Gordon being on that side instead of Diaz, yes, Gordon is direct. I get that. But if you're going to play against teams where you're going to be so patient, you need to be clinical. And I think Gordon is more clinical than Diaz. I think Gordon is a bit more. First of all, he's quicker. We already know that he's the quickest player in the league last year. He clocked the quickest time in the league last year, so he's definitely quicker. He's a lot more. When I say clinical, I don't mean he's not going to try. He's not going to try and beat a man 4 times. Do you know what I mean? He's just going to. But that's what Diaz. Let's get it right. That's what Diaz does. He likes to beat a man 4 times. He's just going to beat the man once and then do the killer pass kind of deal. So I kind of see more now where Gordon could fit in more than Diaz. I think if Liverpool got if the Nico Williams deal falls through with Barcelona, and I know they're trying to look at Dani Olmo, but I don't think Olmo's going to play left-hand side for Barcelona, that I can see Barcelona coming in for Diaz later on down the line. That's where the Gordon deal could be kind of rejigged again. But yeah, I do see that now, mate. I can see why the Gordon deal starts to make a little bit more sense to me, to be honest.
Because I always thought, here's the thing, Matush is saying, I feel Gakpo and Mac will be the biggest beneficiaries. I think, especially, this is just suited for Mecca. That's why I was saying it all post-match too. We just need another Mecca for that midfield as whoever's going to be the 6th kind of a thing. But Gakpo, is he still going to be the odd man left out based on if you get Gordon in there? Because Mo is not sitting.
There's also a part where if you're Cody, at least, you can still play the 9 in this formation. As much as you might not like it, you can still play the 9 in this formation because we are a lot more patient. We are going to be getting on the ball. It looks like Salah's going to start making those starting runs like he used to back in the day with Mane and stuff, and Firmino dropped a bit deeper and stuff like that. You could play that role, but I think there's a part that you take out of this. The one thing I do take out of these pre-season friendlies, I think the midfield that starts of Szoboszlai, Jones and Elliott will be the one that starts against Ipswich. I'll be amazed if it's anyone else. Because they have played the pre-season friendlies, they know exactly what you want out of this midfield. You may as well just roll with it again and go to McAllister. Listen, lad, you haven't stopped kicking a football for fucking 18 months. You know what I mean? Like, you can have the biggest, basically, break out of a lot of them. The Gakpo thing's interesting. Again, but Liverpool are going to be playing, hopefully, 65 games next season. You know what I mean? So there's going to be positions all over the place. That's where the argument for Van den Berg comes in of keeping him. You're going to get 10 starts, including League Cup and FA Cup. You're probably going to get 10 starts, though. So you're going to find out what he's about, So there's a lot of games and there's a lot of time, there's a lot of time. And, yeah, But I do see where Diaz could be a bit surplus to the requirements a little bit.
I mean, I understand what you mean by, like the number of games being played and people get opportunities. But I guess I always look at it like, and I know you don't do that as much in, new football or whatever, but you still have to have an ideal 11, right?
Yeah,
for the big game that you pencil in.
Fit.
And I just feel like right now that you still put in Diaz over there. I just don't see, unless Gakpo does play over Nunez, but we were talking about it in I think it was the post-match on that, that's kind of seemed to suit Nunez as well to make those runs up the middle behind the defense.
Yeah. And the left wing is going to be a debate we're going to have all season. Even if Diaz stays or Diaz goes, Gordon comes, whatever it is, that's always going to be a debate because you have a Gakpo, you have a Diaz or Gordon. You also have a Jota who can also play off the left. But now you also got up front, are you going to play Gakpo? Are you going to play Nunez? We're going to have that debate. But that's a good debate to have because, yes, hopefully we're playing 60, 65 games. Hopefully we're going to need to rotate. Hopefully we need all these players. So it's a good debate to have. But if the season was to start tomorrow, who starts? The answer is going to be, the guys who got the most minutes in preseason. You don't want, McAllister to come in. You don't want Gakpo to come in and the season starts tomorrow and he's only had 2 training sessions. So you start with what you have and then you start to reassess. And then from there, we'll see what the manager sees in training and says, okay, this fits, this doesn't, this works, this doesn't, and kind of go from there. So it's a good debate to have. And I think we might finally have 2 squads like where we can rotate. We have one game where it's a big game. You're a big game. You want your 11. And then you have a less, all games are big, right? But you have a less important game that you need or less tough opponent that you can switch and rotate. And then from there, take away from this squad, take away from that squad and hybrid and start to continue all season. So it's going to be a long season. I look forward to it. And especially we haven't had this new manager thing in quite some time. So it's going to be interesting.
So am I hearing this right then? Because you guys keep talking about people who've been here. So based on that theory, Kazi, are we starting Carvalho against Ipswich? Or not. Diaz just walks back in and be like, I got this touchline over here.
I think he'll do Gakpo on the left. I think there's an argument where Gakpo's probably in better form right now off the left, based on the Euros, at least, that he's in better form, especially better.
I know, I just saw a photo of him on a fucking kayak.
I mean,
on Instagram.
having a lovely time. But there's a part here. I think that's very important in terms of the midfield with the minutes. That's why I think the 3 that starts is going to be the 3 that starts against Ipswich. I keep saying this, and Slot's first 6 games, Liverpool's first 6 games, he's going to find out what he can do. He might pencil in the United away game and go, no, I want that 11. No matter what happens, I want that 11. He might pencil that in his head. But the other 5 is basically a free-for-all of let's get the first, let's get the starting 11 correct, in effect. Because it's a generous start. It is generous, whether we like it or not. Liverpool have finally had a generous start. As much as it's going to be a tough away game Saturday first, 12 of the season away to a promoted side. But if Liverpool score in the first 10, it could be like the realization game for Ipswich that you're in the big leagues and you can batter them. So it could be one of those type of games. The Carvalho one's so interesting because what I keep hearing is that he keeps getting coached a lot through these open training sessions. Like he's basically having someone standing next to him, and anytime he does something good, they're going, "Oh, you're amazing! You're the best player in the world." Basically, bigging him up, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the rumors anyway. That there's just he's basically having a coach on his side, telling him loads of what he should be able to do on this left-hand side. But the Nunez one is interesting, I think as well. The one good thing that this is providing Liverpool is that you're not throwing Nunez, Diaz, and Gakpo into the shit straight away. Like, oh, by the way, you've only come back, you've had 5 days training, and by the way, you're starting against Ipswich, and at least you're easing Diaz and especially Nunez. I think Nunez, we already know what his brain's like. He's going to need some time to adjust to this new formation, this new style of play. I don't really want, and that's not my bias against Nunez. I don't want to start in the first 5 or 6 games for Liverpool. I want to actually learn a bit like you're a brand new signing, like the Fabinho and Robertson kind of thing, where you took a bit of time to get into the side and go, no. We already had Jota who's been doing this. If Jota can stay fit, of course. We've already had, Carvalho can do bits of on the left for me and Mo Salah and Cody, and go, don't you worry, lad. You're going to have a lot to play in this season, but you need to learn how we're going to do this. First things first, you've got to stay on side. Like, you know what I mean? Let's go from there. So I think there is a bit of patience to be had. I do think the options are there, but the one thing I am taking out of this preseason is that I'll be a bemused if the midfield three is not the midfield three that starts against Ipswich.
That's interesting. Well, Cody false nine. Clearly, I could have guessed as number one, but those are his left wings in order: Gakpo, Lucha, Gordon. I think we're in agreement that if Gordon is happening, more than likely Diaz is leaving. I don't think we just sign, or Mo is leaving and he's coming to the right hand side or something like that, right? I mean, we're not signing Gordon unless somebody's leaving,
right?
I think it's Diaz. I still think it'll be Diaz anyway. At the end of the week, I still think Barcelona do something mad. If the Nico Williams deal falls through, I know they're doing Dani Olmo. I still think they do something mad.
And if it's not Barcelona, it's PSG because they have interest in him too. So he's being looked at, and his father wants him somewhere else. Keep that in mind. His father is his agent, and he wants him somewhere else. So he'll push for it.
The one thing that, and I know Gordon made a joke there about the Núñez thing, but the one thing that this formation does have is patience. You need patience. You need to be, the pass will come as Salah provided here in the first goal. It's going to come. You make the run properly, it's going to come. You can't get frustrated. You can't start throwing your hands up in the air. It's a different style of play. But I also don't want Núñez, and this is me defending the lad, I don't want him thrown into the fucking Wolves in the first 6 games, the Sharks, and he doesn't suit, and everyone goes, see, this doesn't work. Let's remain patient. We've got Jota doing the role and Salah and all these other lads, and we can basically let Núñez be 5th choice for the first 6 games. You know what I mean?
I mean, I guess you can, at least you can make an excuse for it and be like, dude, you just came back. Relax. You're going to go in kind of a thing. But Football Flashback says, who do you think would be a better backup for slot system, Endo or Morton? I think I made and I do love this. I still don't think he fits it. I kind of made that clear. I still say, this is my theory at least, Jones is more likely to start there than Endo, I think, in terms of fitting it. I don't like it as much because I don't think he was like this last game. He got caught on the ball a lot, but I think we just sign another player like Mac, and that's your midfield. That midfield is so fluid, man. They keep like 6 becomes an 8, 8 becomes a 6. Oh. So you need players that can do both, and I don't think Endo is that guy.
So are we going to have the debate?
Sure,
talk about it.
Go for it.
So I think Trent is likely to start at the 6 ahead of Endo.
There we go.
But it's unfortunately it's what the manager sees.
I don't think so, but go for
it. I think Trent works in a double pivot. I think Trent could work in a double pivot for 4-2-3-1. I know the manager kind of poo-pooed that idea, but let's get it right. It looks like a 4-2-3-1, and he kind of embarrassed a bit Chris Page out there at the Redmen TV in the first presser, but it kind of looks like a 4-2-3-1 to me. I think Trent could work in a double pivot. I would argue that, and definitely. I think what you can do though, if you just do Adam Wharton and go from there, and let's just worry about the rest later with Alexis McAllister and Szoboszlai and Jones, and then, you know what I mean? And just doing Adam Wharton and stop messing about, basically. Just stop and just go and get the fucking lad who fits the system brilliantly, which would be Adam Wharton. I've had enough of these, but we can say, just go and get the fucking lad. You tried to do it last year with Caicedo. You tried to just go and get the fella who's going to box you for 10 years. Just go and get the fella who's going to box Arne Slot and help the lad out. And listen, that might happen, by the way. That still could happen, in the next few weeks. Liverpool looks like they're going to do a lot of business in August. It looks that way, at least. I just think that's what you just go and do, and then stop this bullshit of we're going to save 15 million by signing this Venezuelan kid. Don't get the lad who can do the job.
See, I agree with this, and I don't agree with Gally a lot. But when I do, it's about Trent playing right back. But no, I actually think, and what do you guys think? I guess Gravenberch. Yeah, Gallagher would have been a good action. The only thing I worry about Gravenberch, again, similar to Jones, is, and I think that's the concern I have with Trent as well. These are guys, I don't have that concern with Mac receiving the ball with somebody on his back. But I do have that with, definitely with Steve with Jones, even though he's better. Any of these guys are better than Endo at it in terms of receiving the ball with somebody on his back with his back to the goal. But does Gravenberch kind of find himself a spot here? Because it does fit instead of winning the ball, lanky, can go, switch to 8-6 back and forth.
The thing about Gravenberch is his physicality. You need somebody who's physical to be playing in that position, whether it's because they're receiving the ball or they're winning the ball. You need somebody who's physical to play the 6, and I just don't see Gravenberch doing it. At this point, you might as well just place Szoboszlai in there because you don't care about physicality. No, it's got to be someone who's physical. At this point, if we're thinking Gravenberch, we might as well start the Bajcetic debate because at least we've seen him do it and we know what he's capable of.
I mean, the Gravenberch one I think is interesting. First of all, I'm a little annoyed with him, if I'm honest. I can't believe he never came back early. You haven't kicked the ball for Liverpool basically for fucking 6 months. You go to Holland, don't kick a ball, and then you still take the. And then where you see, like, for example, like Curtis Jones coming back early, and going, no, I'm going to prove myself, and you're like, you couldn't do that. Just try and like force your way into the plans and give Arne Slot an option in these pre-season friendlies to show that what you can do. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this big fucking Dutch coach comes in and you're Dutch, and we're all gonna have a big Dutch time together. And it's like you just know you took your full like 5 weeks off. Lad, you haven't kicked the ball in anger in 6 months. Like, you know, I don't know. I'm a little frustrated with that. Maybe that's just me being a bit of a douche canoe about it. But it's like I see Curtis Jones coming back and trying to prove himself, but he's getting caught on the ball. Well, at least he's fucking trying to fit the new system. At least he's trying to get in and say to the manager, "Yo, you can trust me. You know what I mean? I'm listening to you, and you can trust me to do this." So, but going back to his actual position in the side, I don't know. He looks like a bit of a spare part to me. He looks like he's definitely going to be an option. I do think he's going to have lots of minutes to play in the games, but I also think he's going to be in the games against Ipswich at home and then Forest at home. I think they're the starts. I don't think you're doing them against United away, are you? So, but by the way, that's absolutely fine because I see other squads around the world doing that with boss players and boss centre midfielders. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And why can't Liverpool? I keep saying this all the time, and everyone goes to me, "Well, where does he start?" I don't care where he starts. You need 24 men in this new version of football. When we were growing up, guys, you needed 16 fellas. It's the famous Bill Shankly quote about carrying the piano. I need fucking 8 lads to carry it and 3 lads to play it. You know what I mean? I need 8 lads to go around and 3 lads to play a bit of footy for me. So it's the same kind of thing here. So we'll see. But again, I do think he has a lot of options. Will Liverpool have a big decision on Bajcetic? We have a massive decision to make. I'll loan him. I'll get him out on loan. The kid's 19 years of age. He hasn't played football for a year. Liverpool haven't got enough minutes.
Yeah, see how durable he is, right?
I'd love to loan him to like a Leicester, bro. Just someone who's got a team who's going to get on the ball with like a Harry Winks around him and Ndidi and Joe, like other players who are like good, experienced professionals. I think Ipswich are kind of too new to the league. I'm not sure about them, but when you've got other experienced players, again, like I've just named, and then you look at a Vardy, of course, up front, those experienced lads around you who can help you and talk you through the game. I'd love to loan him to like a Leicester and see what happens. But
so let me play the devil's advocate because it's what I do best. Gally says, agree with Kazi, Gravenberch and Gomez should be here fighting for spots. And Sorzi says too, Gomez as well. Do you guys think while we think this? I mean, I feel like sometimes we put players in a non-winnable position. With this guy, even though he did not play at all, he's still practicing and he's doing all those kinds of things throughout the week. Afterwards, do we just say when they come back and they play, but then come freaking November, they hit a wall? Isn't everybody going to be saying like, yeah, he didn't get any time off and that's why and stuff? Because we said this in the past about players, and maybe could it also be possible that they wanted to come and Slot is like, no, go take your fucking vacation. We got time.
So, but he said to Curtis Jones, can you come back 3 weeks early?
Why would Curtis not be on time? Where did Curtis go?
Curtis went to LA. And he did this vacation in LA, and he's come back, and because he wanted.
No, I'm just saying, like, why wouldn't Curtis be there on time?
What do you mean? Like, why wouldn't come back?
Like, he's there with everybody else who didn't go to the Euros, right? Like,
yeah. But no, he came back before the other players came to the Euros. Before the other lads who never went to the Euros, he came back early.
Oh, okay.
So he showed that kind of initiative, is what I'm saying. You know, and I know what you're saying about hitting a wall, but the lads I'm mentioning here, fella, haven't kicked the ball. It's not like they played.
They're practicing. They have not kicked the ball like in the game, but they're like, you know, they're still playing. They're still
the training.
Okay, you're still waking up to go to work. So that's not vacation, is it? If you're still waking up to go to work. Don't you need some time off where you do not do work?
Well, maybe you need the time off, but you don't need the full time off.
That's the argument.
I mean, I don't know. Well, I mean, he came back before like Van Dijk and stuff. He's going to play this weekend.
This is the old pre-season from 30 years ago where they all come back with beer bellies and shit. These fucking lads stay in shape, you know.
And that's why. Why is it such a big deal for him to come?
Because I think if you've had a poor year at Bayern, you've had a year where you're in and out the Liverpool team, you've got a brand new manager and a fresh start, you could show some fucking initiative because you've barely kicked the ball. The Gomez one, I actually don't agree with. I think Gomez has played a lot of footy. It's his first full season. He hasn't had an injury in about fucking 15 years. So I actually think with Gomez that you might need that break to kind of recuperate. But with the Gravenberch one, it's like, don't you want that fresh start in your career? I'm going to come in.
If I'm Gravenberch, I would probably do it. I see what you mean there. If I'm Gravenberch, I would be like, a strategic decision, a career decision. I would probably be like, let me go a week or so early, get my feet wet, kind of a thing. But like I said, we don't know if they were like, no, stay away. You need time away mentally, physically, away from soccer too.
Maybe you need a break from having a break all season.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Barely kicking the ball. No, I genuinely don't think it's the team who make those decisions, because Jones wouldn't have came back early. I think Jones come back early of his own accord to go, here's me, you need some lads, I'm fucking here, I'm going to show you how good I am. And I think Gravenberch could have done
that's a smart career move.
I think Gravenberch could have done the same. That's all I'm saying. I know he's trained in Holland. I know what you're saying. The club might go, no, you've been training for 6 weeks, kind of thing, going off more of a break. But I don't think that's what happened.
And then keep in mind, his inclusion in the Dutch team was very last minute. It's not like he was training with them and he was like busting his ass and like, oh yeah, you do. It was very last minute. It was like, shit, we need someone. All right, you can come in.
You know, the midfielder gets your butt on the plane. But I mean, so Konate and him are back. So they're going to get a half, which means they will probably also be there against Sevilla. Does that put Konate then in? I mean, do you see a scenario where it's Konate and Kwanzaa starting the first week?
No.
Or it's Van Dijk that were like, here, man, we kept it warm for you.
It's your captain. There's no debate.
It's not just that. You want to win. We've spoken about giving Van Dijk time off this season and kind of picking his games. You want to win the fucking first game. You know what I mean? The last thing Arne Slot wants to do is put some pressure, under, on himself. You go out and win the first game, so you get your best team on the pitch in that sense. But I just think, you're probably right. It probably is Virgil and Kwanzaa. I think Konate's third, fourth choice right now. And Konate's fucking whatever he is anymore. I don't know. He's another one who annoys the fuck out of me as well, but we can get from there.
By the way, Nick says, my background bricks are more organized than Anand's. You got to put care, Nick. You got to put care.
Okay.
I come from a long family of bricklayers.
This is a real wall. These are not a background brick. That's a wall.
That's not is that real brick?
No, it's a backdrop, but there's a wall back there. Yours is not a wall. Yours is like a virtual thing.
You don't know if it's a wall?
Yeah.
I see the pixels right there. I can do
that too. There you go.
Okay, knock on it. Go ahead, knock.
Oh, God.
Like, knock, knock, knock.
Yeah.
The loss against Ishbu definitely put the fire on.
Well, we don't want that.
That's my concern with everybody saying, "Oh, the schedule is easy" and stuff like that, because that could really backfire. Where we start, that's my probably biggest concern, is that we start poorly. I understand an easier schedule helps you not do that, but at the same time, you can lose points from games that you should have gotten 3 points from. And now you're already behind the 8 ball. I think we all have different expectations about this team the way it is. But
this is a part of the conversation where Edwards and Hughes have took a chance on waiting. I'll tell you why. Because if Liverpool go and do an Adam Morton and Anthony Gordon and then do, someone else, let's just say a centre-half, and they're not ready to play those first couple of games and Liverpool lose them, they'll go, why did you wait? Why did you wait? Like, why? What? Couldn't you get them in earlier and we do pre-season with them and they'll get
done this before, though, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's the chance you take. So that's also relying on your squad. I say this all the time. Liverpool have got a massive fucking squad of players, but I'd get rid of 10 of them. We have a lot of footballers, like loads of boss ones. You know what I mean? And so there's also a part where Michael Edwards is going, well, we can get through the first couple. We can hang out and Arne Slot can see what he wants to do with players like Bobby Clark and Jayden Danns has been trying to fucking palm out on loan to Plymouth. I don't even know if that's happened yet. I'm not sure. But again, we're at that stage, but that's the chance that you take. That's the chance you take. Liverpool have used to done business earlier, a couple of years ago, done business in the first 2 weeks and just shut up shop and had the most boring last 6 weeks of their lives.
Yes.
And we're doing nothing. And we used to like that. We all thought that was brilliant kind of business. Right now, you took a chance. I get why you took a chance, but it might come back to bite you on the ass.
Do you think that's because, Anand, in the past, maybe they felt now is the time and made the moves, whereas they almost see this as a more long-term project because of a new manager and stuff? Like if Klopp was staying, I mean, you knew Carvalho wasn't going to be, you know what I mean? Like the guys who were not getting a chance before, Klopp was not going to change his mind. Whereas now you have a new manager where everybody is kind of getting like a new shot at things. So they're being more patient as they see it maybe more long-term as opposed to if Klopp stayed, they will be like, strike, we're in this. We got to make a move. It's almost like the trade deadline over here in the US.
Or is it Hughes and Slot and the team trying to see who is excess, who needs to go during the first 2 weeks or 3 weeks of preseason before they start making moves? It could be just the club has targets they want, but also they have some excess players that they don't want. They want to see what they can cash out from here so they can use it to do that. We still got some time in the transfer window. We've only played 2 games if you don't count that behind closed doors. Slot needs to know the team. He needs to see who he's got. So maybe they don't want to just add players. What if Carvalho turned out to be this biggest magician ever and we don't need to sign another player in this position or that position? Maybe that's how they look at it. Either way, I'm actually not stressed out about the lack of signings because there's no need for us to go desperate as soon as the window opens to start signing players. We got time. Let the manager see his squad. Let him get used to what he has. And then from there, he'll make some decisions. He'll talk to the bosses and say, listen, everything is good, but I need to strengthen this position and that one. What can we do? From there, we'll start making signings.
But we talked about this, last week too. Somebody has to be there. Like somebody has to play these games and we got to be able to change. So maybe, we keep saying like, oh, Slot has to take a look. I guarantee you the 6-7 of these guys that are there right now that we're watching they've already been written off or they're already being shopped around but somebody has to be there to play center back. So maybe Sepp is there because of that.
I love that, like how people were reading into the Real Betis game. Because he played how he played, and he just come out and went, I haven't got a number 9, lads. I played that way because I haven't got a fucking number 9. I have to do something. Like, I'm not asked. Do you know what I mean? But I see what people are saying in the comments here about prices going up in the window. Liverpool are probably still talking to their targets. They're just not making a move right now. They probably might be going to, let's get this right. By the way, they tried to do Gordon. It was Newcastle who pulled out. Like, Gordon was done. Like, they had the medicals booked with Gomez and Gordon at the England training camp. They were doing medicals. But then Newcastle pulled out, so they were going to do that one early doors. But now they're kind of trying to have a look of, like, for example, as you just said with Carvalho, I think Morton's interesting. I think he's got a Bobby Clark conversation. I think he has a Kay Gordon conversation. I think these lads he's got to get out on loan or you've got to make decisions on now. Liverpool have a massive, massive, massive squad of players. I keep saying it. Like, I think we have about 40 fucking players after the lads who come back from loan. You need to make calls. You have to.
I know it's two games in, but I think Sepp has been very impressive.
Impressive enough that you might get 20 million for as well, by the way.
Well, the thing is,
is this price going up?
Yeah, that's the question. What are you going to do with his price? But I would actually keep him.
I know this is part of the chat because he's impressed you. But you keep Sepp, and if Gomez goes for 45 million, you keep Sepp. Do you know what I'm saying? So again, this is all roundabouts. I think there's one big out, and then everything's just going to go bang, and Liverpool are going to do fucking. I honestly think the next 10 days is going to be bananas, like absolutely crazy. You're just going to wake up with different lads going on loan, and it's like that fucking pre-season's over. We should never have done it, but we needed the dough. We're just getting it out the way. We're going to fly back. I'm going to go. He's going to sit there on the plane, I think, on the way back to America, and going, "You're gone, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone." Nice to see you. You're all going to go into the fucking training camp, and Virgil van Dijk's there getting warmed up, and Diaz is back, and Nunes is back, and they're all going to go, "Oh, fuck yeah, we're done." You know what I mean?
I feel the same way too. Like once this game is over against United, people that are there that I'm talking about that were just bodies there. Who decisions were made on what loan or sell or whatever it might be. I think, once this game is done, I don't think we see most of these guys when the Sevilla squad is, which, by the way, we're going to be doing a live watch along for. That's on the 11th. It's going to be the end of the 24-hour podathon. We got a video from Jamie himself, actually, as well, which was pretty darn cool. You did not see it, Kazi? You're like, what? You did not see this video? But
seen it this morning.
Oh, I say okay. Yeah. We're gonna get more information out probably like this weekend right here. The silent auction is gonna start right away. We'll start sending those links out so people can start bidding on it. We're still getting sponsors. It's been pretty nice to see some supporter clubs pick up some hours and sponsor some hours. So hopefully we'll get every single one. Anan is over there, as he put it, selling his ass off. How is that going for you?
Do you know how hard it is to convince people to
sell your ass? Yeah.
To buy this ass? No, but Especially, and I was like, once I get the category video, it's going to be great. And then I send a video, and this guy, my friend, he's got a pizza restaurant. He goes, I have no idea what the fuck he just said. I'm like, oh my God. He goes, I have no idea what this guy's saying.
With like subtitles or something like that.
I was like, yeah, let me add subtitles. I'll be back.
Yeah.
No, that was really nice of Jamie to kind of get behind the whole ordeal. And
Yes.
he even said he hasn't heard of the 24-hour podathon. You may never hear from it again if we make it to the end, but it should be interesting.
I don't know what the fuck you're playing, are you? Like, are you hosting for 24 hours?
What's wrong with 24 hours?
I think he's going to sleep at some point, and somebody else will take over, right?
No, we're going 24 hours straight.
You?
Me, Bickler, Galley, we're going 24 hours straight. That's the whole point. Otherwise, like, I initially thought that. I'm like, okay, that's not hard. If people, that's basically a TV channel. If everybody's showing up doing 3 hours at a time, that's just like a TV channel or a radio station.
Just a regular pod, yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. The challenge is 24 hours straight.
But will you be live? You online for 24 hours?
Yes. You're
a fucking crazy cat, you fella. You're not a young man.
I mean, I don't know what's crazier, him or the Turkish guy that just went with the gun and just boom.
Yeah, did you see the gangster? So proud.
I'm going to come on. We're going to come on and do a Liverpool worst 11 for you just to make you depressed at more 2 a.m. when you haven't slept for 17 hours and I'm talking about Milan Jovanovic. Yeah,
I don't even know. Yeah, I'll probably wake up normal because we're going to start at noon and then we're going to go all the way till noon the next day. So it should be interesting. I know when I first presented it, Galley was the one that was kind of doubtful. He'll deny it, I'm sure, in the comments, but he was like, I think
it'll be fun. It'll be fun to see the progression. What's up, guys? And like 6 hours later, what's up, guys? And like 11 hours, guys. I'm excited for that.
This is an absolute.
Yeah, see, he's like, I've been saying this since this idea came out. Yes, so that was like a good. But I mean, we're gonna have a lot of people come on throughout. Obviously, you boys will be on. A lot of the contributors kind of like scheduling, so there'll be like ins and outs and stuff like that. There's no shortage of topics because that's gonna be a week before the season.
Yeah.
So both of the signings and stuff like that, at least, we'll be able to preview some of the teams and what business they've done.
If you tune in, I will try and get in touch with Brendan Rodgers to find out whose name was in that envelope all those years ago.
I still want to know.
I want to know whose name was in that envelope. Yeah.
It was
definitely Nuri Sahin. Yeah.
Good old Nuri. Nuri is
the manager.
He's assistant at Dortmund, right? Or did he take over Dortmund?
He's the head coach.
Yeah, he did take over Dortmund. I mean, that's a smart dude right there because he was in Turkey and he was actually doing good in the Turkish league, like playing some really good soccer, even though he was on an average team. But he was smart enough to say, I'd rather be an assistant at Dortmund than stay at a like a middle of the table Turkish team over there. So he went over there, and then now he gets his opportunity.
That's one thing he's just done, hasn't he? Van Nistelrooy. Van Nistelrooy just done the kind
of
yep.
And then I just think the Bundesliga is going to be fun. You got Nuri Sahin is coaching one team. You got Vincent Kompany's coaching the other. Like, what the fuck is happening?
Oh man, Nuri Sahin, man.
So United game. I don't know. Maybe it's like me, but I put more on the result of this than anything else. Even though it really doesn't matter, but it is United. I mean, like you said, like we want to win all these games. I'm not going to be devastated if they do not win, but anything different you guys are looking for in this game compared to the first two?
The question is does Jota get more than 45 minutes? He has promised Konate and Gravenberch 45 at least.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's just seeing the fitness at this point because, again, preseason to me is all about the fun and about the rotation and about the kids. So score doesn't matter. I just want to see the progress of the style of play that Arne wants to continue moving forward, but that's about it.
Exactly the same. I don't care. And United can take loads out of beating us 3-0 if you want, and you can go into that third game in the Premier League with loads of confidence, and we just batter you there, and we'll rather beat you there, to be honest. So we can see. Again, I'm with Anania. I just don't care. Like, I try and get invested in these preseason. I can't. I'm just not interested. Do you know what I do like about them? No, it's something I've got to say. I'm made up that the American fans are having such a good time with it. Like, really enjoying themselves. And I like when people enjoy themselves. You should enjoy it. Because it's like, I've been quite spoiled, of course, where I'm from. And I've been to some, games. And I've walked out of games early and stuff like that. And when I think about that now and I tell American fans that, they look disgusted at me. So, you weren't there on the Hodgson years, boys. You wouldn't have fucking been there waking up at fucking 3 a.m. to watch that garbage. So, you know what I mean? I understand I was in a blessed position. So there's a part here where if you're the American fan, just take it in, enjoy the game. I think the 4-1 still gets kind of spoken when we beat United 4-1 a few years ago.
Yeah.
Overhead.
Shaqiri goal, yes.
Yeah, the Shaq overhead. So he is part of that. Enjoy it, because you don't want to come back.
Player that you have still not kind of like after 2 games, I feel like, you know, the guys we talked about that we would look at, right? Like Carvalho, Sepp, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, are there any of them that's going to do something that's going to make you think differently of them now? Or the first 2 games was enough to kind of confirm your opinion, make an opinion, whatever it might be?
I think sometimes make an opinion as such. I don't know if that's correct, but it's more the fact of like, have they done enough? Have you done enough to impress me? I don't think if Carvalho goes out as a great fucking 70 against United, it's like, okay, you should start left wing against Ipswich. I don't think it's that. I just think, is he an option? Like, do you play yourself? Like, the try Naoni is the interesting one, isn't it? Because everyone was kind of like, you know, and then Naoni comes on and he looks great and he looks fantastic. But then you're like, the kid's 17 years old. Liverpool have about 1,400 players. We need to, you know, what is the Naoni situation? I think he needs a loan. We probably all agree he probably needs a loan. 17 years of age. Like,
you think so? I almost feel like he keeps training with the big boys as his body develops.
Maybe there's a part of that, but also I think there's certain levels that you got to let the kid kind of get to and let the kid grow into. It's very important to play man's football. I think it's very important to play where it means something. You know what I mean? But every result counts. So
the manager was clear. Like, oh, he's very good, but he has time to go. He said it right after that Betis game. He's a good player, but he's still got time to go. It's to stop because we have a very reactionary fan base. And one lad goes in and puts a good shift, and everybody's like, oh, he's got to start every single game. So he wants to take the pressure off the kid. And he's like, he's very good, but he's still got some time to go.
I mean, he flat out said they even pull him out of practice early. So, I mean, the kid is not even practicing in full because they're trying to protect his body and stuff like that, he's definitely not going to be. You're not going to see him. I mean, you might see him in a
Now, listen, if that was Jurgen, he would run his ass to the ground.
The thing is, though, you're saying League Cup game, I don't think you do. I still think
he just comes off the bat. I don't think he starts the game this year.
No, but I still think we've got, like, again, your Bobby Clark, your James McConnells, and Tyler Morton, like, who are going to take those minutes from the kid. Again, unless they go out on loan. We have no idea still. Liverpool, the only club in the top 5 leagues, haven't made a signing. That's insane.
That's right, baby. And we're ready to roll.
Oh, fucking hell, we're ready to
now the discussion is Rabiot. Everybody's talking about Rabiot. United want Rabiot. Arsenal want Rabiot. Liverpool wanted Rabiot. And I think one of those 3 will get him. And hit the silence from Liverpool and the silence from Rabiot's camp maybe tells you there's something going on, but that's a player I would take in the blink of an eye.
See, I like that, for example, fits a lot better, I think, than Endo.
I think Rabiot will go to Bayern. But that's just my personal opinion. I don't think he'll come to the Premier League. I think he'll shit himself. Like a lot of players do. They just flirt with the Premier League and then shit themselves and then go somewhere else.
Oh, raise his price and then bail.
It's not that raising the price. It's just like, oh, look, I've got incest over there to make Bayern bite. I don't know where Goretzka gets in under company. The style of play he wants to get. I think Goretzka's too slow. And I think with Rabiot playing so well with both feet, he could really suit that style. And then go there and win the league. And everyone goes, fucking hell, he was a good player because he won 7 leagues at fucking Bayern Munich. Yeah, give me a break.
I would take Rabiot, that's for sure.
Keep
a clean sheet again, please, says Serzi. By the way, that's one thing, right? We're definitely a lot more organized and we care a lot more about defending than we have in the past.
But I do want to say this because I think it's interesting. This clean sheet thing, for the first 6 games, we will not keep many clean sheets. There's going to be our players are going to be making mistakes in this new style of play.
In the build-up is what I'm afraid of.
Yeah,
right?
They're going to make mistakes. They're going to give the ball away cheaply. It's going to be annoying. It's going to be frustrating. You're going to get the old fucking fellas, just kick the ball up the field. We all need to remain patient. They are learning a brand new style of play. I can actually see a lot of Brendan Rodgers 13, 14, 40 results happening in the first season, where Liverpool could just win the first 3 months, where Liverpool are winning games 5-3. That could happen. When they just make loads of mistakes. That can happen. By the way, Jurgen Klopp's first season, where we just had fucking some mad the 5-4 Norwich, 3-3 away at Seville when you're 3-0 up. And they're just doing mad shit. So I can actually see that happening. As much as they might look organised defensively and stuff like that, and that's great, and they might learn this very, very quickly, I don't see that happening when the Premier League kicks in.
See, I almost feel like, when we were getting scored on a lot when Klopp came, it was because we didn't get the press established properly up front. And when you play with the high line, that's like a recipe for disaster. So we kind of put ourselves in a tough spot. This one, I do agree with you. I think it's going to be more about we're going to lose the ball during build-up. Somebody's going to receive the ball with their back and short pass and stuff like that, and we're going to give the ball up. That's how we're going to get conceded on. But I do like the overall defensive discipline that we've seen so far when we sit back. I mean, there were some moments in that game where, I mean, Arsenal, and they had a lot of their starters in there, and they could not find gaps in between those lines. I thought that was pretty darn impressive because there were some kids out there too.
I mean, yeah.
I think the lads that are in there now are trying to prove a point as well, so that they are giving you that extra 10%. But if the season is to start today, Virgil's fit. My starting center backs are going to be Virgil and Kwanzaa. But the question is, what do you do with the rest?
Too. Were you putting Konate earlier, Kazi?
Oh God, no! Fuck that.
Okay.
He's another one. He's annoying me as well. He's really on my shit list at the moment. So I would do Kwanzaa as well. So.
It's almost like they talked with Gravenberg because Konate didn't play either. So they were like, we should just go back.
Another one who hasn't kicked the ball in anger for a while.
Yeah.
He's barely fucking kicked the football. But it's all right though, fella. You take your fucking full 6 weeks off to do fuck all.
Such a hater.
It's not though, fella. It's a new season, it's a new start. You should want to come in and show some fucking hunger and desire to start for Liverpool Football Club. And that's why I won't have a bad word said about Curtis Jones in that sense. Because you've come back and tried to show us that. Like at least you're trying that. Maybe listen, and you could be right. By the way, the sports scientists say just stay away. But I don't think that's right. I don't think they are. Because I think they might just want to come in and say, I want to use the gym today. And at least you're in the manager's face. Because it's out of sight, out of mind, isn't it? There's a lot of that happens in football, especially. Look at Bajcetic. It's out of sight, out of mind, and then you fucking see him come back and you're like, oh yeah, he was good.
Yeah.
But if you're in the manager's eye line and that, you know what I mean? You're showing, I just think, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm being too hard.
Let's bite Bajcetic 19. He's putting in an extra session before training and an extra one after.
Yeah.
That it's hunger. It's showing a work ethic. It's showing that you want to be a part of this. Bajcetic is doing all this probably because he doesn't want to get loaned out.
Honestly, even if you're not like playing, that's the part that I feel like if you come in a bit earlier, come in and sit in the meetings and, you know, like the tactical stuff and do your like light workouts and stuff like that. That cannot hurt. Like, you know, see the new defensive scheme, see the new combinations attacking wise and stuff like that. So I get that. But like I say, we don't know if these guys were told to stay away. I doubt it as well, but you never know because there's something to be said about taking a freaking break.
We've lost Mata. You've got a centre half there. Liverpool not sure if they're going to keep on Vandenberg, and you can't be asked to come back early.
Or maybe that's why he's not ours because he's like, my spot is there. I think like Gravenberg is probably more likely to say, hey, I got to go carve myself a spot. And I feel like Konate says, worst case, I'm 3.
If Liverpool can play Ipswich next week and Van Dijk wasn't fit, Konate still wouldn't be in the squad or wouldn't be in the starting 11 because you do Vandenberg. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Just because he's been there, you mean? Yeah.
But also, out of all the center backs, Konate has had the worst season last season, so there's no merit for him to start a match. Like, come in and just prove something. Like,
we could be harsh. We could be really harsh here, and they want to say that, and I might be setting a high bar, but I just think with Jones coming back early, it's really, really impressed me, and I wanted to see more out of the other lads. Maybe I'm incorrect, but maybe that's why they won't be starting at the first 6 games, Gravenberch and Konate, because they're probably not going to start a game in the first 6, are they? Let's be fair. So
it's funny because Slot walks around with his little clipboard and notebook, and he keeps going through it. And when he was at the team hotel, they were just kind of hanging out, him and the staff, and they were just like taking out the little drawing board and just discuss the whole time. They're just talking tactics and sitting down. And one of the people tried to go and get a picture, and like security told him they're having a really private meeting, and he's like, then why are you doing it here in public in the lobby? But they're sitting down and they're going tactics, and they're going back upstairs and they're talking to the players. At least be there for that. If you're Konate, just listen to what kind of game plan the manager has. Just listen to some ideas.
Did you like reach over him and put Trent as a 6, like push him over there? You're like, this is what I would do.
What I heard is holding. I was like, yeah, Trent. He's like, no, I was asking who's holding my coffee. I'm like, oh, my bad. I'm so sorry. But no, listen, I think Konate, I'm very disappointed in Konate more than Gravenberg, because I'll be honest here. I never really had a high bar for Gravenberg. Whatever happens, happens. But Konate, we keep saying, oh, he's the next big thing. He's going to be the future of the club and defending. He's this, he's that. And then he misses most of the end of last season due to injury. And then he somehow makes it to the French squad, doesn't play a second. and then is not even halfway ours to come back a day early.
This is the other part as well, by the way. This is the funny part of this. We're not asking to fight a Liverpool where it's raining all the time.
Yeah, right.
You're still in a lovely hotel with your mates, having a laugh. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
making Philly cheesesteaks, yeah.
Not putting any kind of hard yards in. You're just showing your face and having a laugh with your boys. You know what I mean? You're getting away from the missus and shit. We're not asking for a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think, when he played, I remember a lot of like really shitty performances by Konate last year. That was very
West Ham.
Like, holy cow, like what is he doing kind of a thing. And there were a lot of games like that. But I honestly do have hope for Gravenberch, especially in this system. So we'll see what happens. I'm kind of like, that's one thing probably I'm looking forward to seeing this weekend against United is like where he plays and how he does there. Because I'm assuming he's gonna play that too, and see how he does.
By the way, I just Google searched because it was in my head. He started centre half when we lost to Atalanta 3-0, and I remember he fucking stunk the place out. Virgil wasn't great either, but I remember he was absolutely appalling.
Yes, he was.
And I remember it basically cost us the Europa League. You know what I mean?
Speaking of Virgil, are we just giving him an extension? What are we doing with that?
Yeah,
we're not doing anything with anybody, but probably I'm more concerned.
They're waiting until they get back from the US.
It's not like I keep saying this to people. I don't think they're not having discussions. They're definitely on the blower to having meetings and to do stuff like that. You know what I mean? I just feel like how are you going to announce this? Are we going to do like the Mo Salah announcement where we all flew out there because he was like, I'm not leaving a Villa, boys. Like I'm having a lovely time, mate. You know what I mean? Like if you want to come out and do a little photo shoot, then maybe. I just think it's a bit of that. I think there's also a part with giving, like, in terms of an opinion on Van Dijk and an extension. I think because of the inconsistency of Konate, it makes the decision very fucking simple.
Yeah, it does.
Konate played 50 games last year and he's unbelievable, and Kwanzaa's going and everyone's going to be like, take 50 million? Everyone could be having that chat about Virgil van Dijk. But that's based on the other centre half that we have right now. You can't have that chat. It's like, no, you've got to give him a fucking new extension because
I really think all along that, that should not been even a conversation because I think Van Dijk has another, especially like this is a slightly different system too. I think, and this suits him so well too, like good on the ball and stuff.
Diagonals.
Yeah, I mean, so I really think, it's a no-brainer to give him another 2-3 year contract because I feel like he will adjust this game to kind of, make up for any loss of speed and stuff like that. He already has. He's not as fast as he was, but he's back to his best self for the most part. And
the question is, does he want to be here for 2-3 years? I feel like that's the question. It's a no-brainer for us. We want him.
Yeah, of course.
As opposed to where, though, I guess, right?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if it's more or less because he talked about being tired, about long seasons. It's just a debate of, is he looking for less competition?
I don't think it's that. I just think it could be just I've
changed. You're just fucking tired.
I'm fucking tired of this. Like it's a short career, and I just think, you know what? I'd love to go and sit on the beach in Barcelona for 2 years and try and win La Liga. Like there could be that conversation to have with yourself. And by the way, Barcelona.
I think it was more like like somebody putting a microphone in front of him after he lost a very tough game after a long ass freaking year. And he was like, I'm just fucking tired right now. Like
I think the only player, by the way, who was fit the whole year for Liverpool was Van Dijk. And he's like, I just want a fucking League Cup with a bunch of kids that if they bumped into me now in the street, I wouldn't know who they are. And I want a trophy with them at Wembley. Like, we lost the league. We should have kind of won the league if you want an argument. We got battered by Atalanta. We lost to United in extra time in the FA Cup. There's a lot of big setbacks there, and you know what I mean, mentally, where you just go, I just need to fucking have a refresh here.
Yeah, I think it was just like, I just need some time off. Don't ask me shit now, kind of a thing. It was just like a bad time for that question. I think people made too much of that answer. It was just
I agree, and also the goal that England scored, the Watkins goal, it's not his side. It's the Lit who makes the mistake, not the Fry who makes the mistake. But you're like, fuck me, boys. Like, you could have just fucking do a bit better defensively. And you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that all snow piles up to be something massive. I'm with Tim. I just think, just get a fucking camera out my face. Can I go away for 6 weeks and let me have a little think with the missus? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to be like, I can't wait to get back in.
I am so excited for 65 games.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Yeah, exactly. With no manager, I have no idea what he's all about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just all brand new to him. I would not be surprised if Virgil van Dijk walks in and goes, does a couple of training sessions, goes, I can't be arsed with this. And you know what? You could blame him, by the way. if he just goes, I can't be asked.
He's going to be that like linebacker in the NFL, like a week into the training camp. He's going to be like, you know what? I'm done.
I'll see you guys on Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. It could genuinely. And by the way, I would fucking, if I was Virgil van Dijk, I'd leave Liverpool. But that's just me. I would, Pete. I would. I think it could be brilliant for all of us if Liverpool were going to do a big.
Do you think, like, seeing now though, like how things are and how things seem to look, like it's not like we're starting a whole new rebuild and looks like we're gonna suck for a while or anything like that. I would think that would be a decision maker. Like he's not. I can't be involved in like this whole starting over thing. I'm too old for this shit. Whereas you can kind of see not changing the squad in some ways and not making a move was probably one of the better things in a season where you had Euros, you had a short summer, and you have a new manager.
Yeah. Oh, I think beneficial for Liverpool. I think it could be key to keep Virgil van Dijk. But I think if I'm Virgil van Dijk, I go, I've only played under Jurgen Klopp. He was great. I only want to play under Jurgen, and now for Liverpool, and I want to leave. I know what you're saying. I just don't want this season. That's why I want Liverpool to do 3-4 signings. I think they're only going to do 2. I'd love us to do 3 or 4 because I don't want it to turn into a Jurgen Klopp tribute act. Do you know what I mean? Of like, oh, we're just trying to get back. You know, when it's just like, just do Trent and make a couple of big calls now for the manager. But also, Liverpool are still trying to win a league, so they're in a very, very difficult position. I get that. I understand that. The clubs around them are making nice signings. Villa have made a few nice pieces, and you know what I mean? And Chelsea are making some nice signings, and I get all that. It looks like Spurs were linked with Solanke yesterday, which could be a really good signing for them. So there's also a part where Liverpool need to maintain top 4 status. I think if I'm Virgil, I'd go, I can't be arsed with this. I'm fucking 32, 33. I've got one more World Cup left in me. I can have a lovely time at Barcelona, playing centre half and having a lovely, lovely time.
I guess it's possible. I get the sense that he sticks around. I know because it's like the Dutch connection and stuff like that. I just don't think this is like a huge rebuild project where he will run out of it. But we'll see. I really think once this game is over and that plane lands back in Liverpool, that's when all the shit is going to start happening. So,
I genuinely think, bro, within 48 hours after we land, we'll have 5 loans out.
Or they might like just throw people out with a parachute that they're loaning. They're like, "Hey, we're right above Southampton. Jump!"
Honestly, I'm surprised he didn't like go to like Nat Phillips. You're 86 right now. Like, I'm not asked. Like, you're just taking the number 86 here for these 3 games, and then we're fucking you off. Like, no disrespect, you've been great for us in that season, but I've got a feeling that's going to happen. I think Liverpool's just going to get 5 or 6 out the door, pretty sharp. And I also think there's a big out. I think there's a big outcome. I think Liverpool are going to be surprised. I think you're going to be surprised how much of a big out. I think
the big out is Diaz.
I think it could be Diaz.
Monday, Tuesday, I think is going to give us a lot to talk about. That's my assumption. Of course, we could be sitting here on Wednesday.
By the way, would that be your big out, gents, before we go? Would that be your big out? If I'm giving you a big out now, a £50 million sale, 40, 50 million, that's it. That's what Diaz is going to go for at least. What's your big out?
My big out is Gomez.
Okay, fair.
I was going to say Diaz because I
personally I don't want Diaz to go. I don't. But do I think he's gonna is where it's at? Yes. But if I was to pick, somebody to move on, it would be Gomez. He wants regular football. He wants to play. He wants to not be, on a Tuesday match, he's a left wing, and on a Wednesday, he's a center back. He just wants a position. And I think it's better for him. But my outs are going to be Diaz and Kelleher. Those are the 2 that are actually going to go. But I wouldn't mind it if it was Gomez, just because I want him to have that career.
Yeah.
I'd be sad if Gomez left. I'll be honest. I love Gomez.
Yeah, but I also think for him, it could be a good time. I agree with Anand there on that. I also think what he's done for Liverpool, he deserves to go when he wants to go because he's Liverpool's longest serving player and the respect at the level he got to. And
I'd rather sell Costas. I know it's going to go for a lot less.
But for Liverpool, a lad who can play 3 positions like that for you. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Liverpool, and by the way, I keep saying this, Liverpool need to make a decision on Conor Bradley. People don't like to hear it. If Trent's going to be your starting right back for 5 years, if you can get 25, 30 million for Conor Bradley, and then you can do Joe Gomez playing a backup right back role. Do you get what I'm saying? You can do bits left back. That's why we always talk about it on this podcast because we have nothing else to chat about in terms of transfers coming in and out. Liverpool have a massive talk to have because the squad's so big. So we have big decisions to make.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to get this game, and I really think early next week we're going to have more answers. Right now, it's a lot of questions. And the funny thing is, it's the same questions we had like a month and 2 months ago. The questions have not changed. It's just more about we don't have any new answers. But on our way out, let's get some huge, major predictions for the United game. Roll the dice, Kazi.
Okay.
I think this is going to be the first Timuchin special of the season.
Oh, I'll have a 3-0. I think it. By the way, can we all laugh at United signing Lenny Yoro and then getting injured for 3 months? I just think it's absolutely brilliant. And by the way,
Hoyland is out for like 6 weeks or something.
I think it's like 3 months.
Minimum
By the
3
way,
months.
No. Hoyland is also out.
Hoyland's out for
Hamstring
6
or something.
And then I'm just a big fan of. If I was Everton, I'd be going, yeah, it's 100 million for Branthwaite now. Have some fun, gents. But yeah, there we are. 3-0 Liverpool.
Anan.
Maybe 2-1. It depends on who's playing. I don't know what the fuck the team's gonna look like, so I'll go 2-1 Liverpool.
All right, I'm going with the Timuchin special, the 3-1, the first one of the season.
I'm banging to the idea. I am banging to the idea. Let's just play Joe Gomez up front for a laugh before he goes. Remember Rafa Benitez played Pepe Reina?
We've done it with Reina, yeah. And he had a shot on target. Well, it wasn't on target, but he had a shot.
He played Pepe Reina centre mid at a pre-season friendly. I'm banging to the idea of Joe Gomez going, listen, I played everywhere else. Can I have 10 minutes up front? Let me get a goal for the Reds. Just put him up front.
And I agree with Wilson. I know it doesn't matter as preseason, but it's fucking United, so gotta win that game. But we'll be here for the pre-match and the post-match, so tune in right before the kickoff over here. The gang will be here ready to go. Do not forget about the fundraiser. So we still need hourly sponsors, and look out for the links for the silent auction coming up later today. Have an awesome Friday, everybody, and we'll see you guys this weekend right before the game. Take care.